Yeah, a very big welcome to you, my dear Pisces, and always a very big welcome to all the other zodiac signs that felt like this constellation has a message for them as well. So the sun is in Cancer, or the earth has turned in such a way that we see the constellation Cancer behind it, and the moon has moved, so we see behind it the constellation Pisces. The moon is at home in Pisces, and the moon is also at home in Cancer. So, very interesting, right? The moon and the sun both in a water sign, lots of emotions, a lot of energy in the sense of our feelings. How can we successfully go out and feel the worthiness, feel the existence, feel the divine love that is governed by a higher consciousness? And it's always that point. The dualities are the 2 points below, and in the center is the point up. Cardinal, mutable. That's the story here. Now I'm doing this reading because I'm creating myself a tarot deck filled with yoga positions, because I want you to feel the card. I want you to embody this energy. So Ashvasanchalan Asana, going out yourself, finding the horsepower within you to step out and say, yes, I want to be successful in the way I feel, in the way I experience this world. And of course for you, I have created fish pose, down dog, up dog, because you have here the wolf and the dog. That is creating an evolutionary circle past these 2 towers. And the power to understand that you have everything within you to come into this triangle that's pointing upwards, the triangle that's saying here, the third eye is reaching into my right and into my left hand. Your court card is the Knight of Cups. If your birthday is between February 8th and March 11th, this is you, searching for the Holy Grail forever and ever and ever. This is your message. You're ending the age of Pisces. So you will have left nothing else than love. Remember that. From the last reading, you had a bonus reading in Gemini. And the message was, you're the messenger of the coming of a higher love in the age of Aquarius. And here we see you with the Ace of Cups, yourself, and the Eagle. The perspective now to understand the love that you have searched for, that you are looking for. It's almost like you have become a master in it. And that's all that's left. And so then from the eagle perspective, you're looking down and you see how a new age is coming, because this age is spinning backwards to the left. That's why the head is turning left. The big circle of the 22 major arcanas is that wobble that's lasting 25,000 years. And each age lasts 2,150 years approximately. And we were just in the age of Pisces. And we're going into the age of Aquarius. That's why it's actually going the other way. So I'm doing this reading on the day the moon is in your sign. You get only once a month a reading from me, but I have 22 cards lying here, so they're going through the major arcana. And I begin in the 15th century and end up in the 21st century. And I'm telling, of course, a story of the cards, how they evolved the tarot. And I have the most important people lying here in the first row. Then after, I picked a little bit what I liked myself and I went more contemporary. But let's begin with the oldest tarot that is intact, the Visconti Sforza Tarot, the Devil, the number 6, calculated together, the 15th century, and the card number 15 is coming up. So you have a 15 portal, speaking about attachments, speaking about not knowing that you have the power inside your third eye to overcome these dualities and to come into a neutralness. It's not okay to be good. It's not okay to be bad. It's okay to bring them together and then come into your center. So here it speaks about an attachment that you have to shift and change through, shifting and changing through the silver and the golden cup. This is Sagittarius, La Tempérance. Oswald Wirth, he painted only the 22 major arcanas, and his cards were used in the Kabbalistic Rose Cross order that was formed 1888 in France. Now, the Rose Cross order was existing before, but not in combination with the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. So there is a combination between Judaism and Christianism that they marked with this order. And of course, the Viscontis had a daughter and the Sforzas had a son and married them. And usually when it was an arranged marriage, there wasn't love, but the two were pretty good together. And actually, after 10 years, painted the tarot, and 6 cards were missing. Interesting, 6 again. 15 is the number 6, and particularly the Devil was missing. So an attachment is happening here, but you can liberate yourself out of this attachment by learning, like I said, through the third eye, the dualities that are pulling the chariot forward, right? And we do that with our third eye. Then comes the Hermetic Tarot. The Hermetic Tarot was used in the Order of the Golden Dawn that was also formed 1888 in England. Now, why am I using this is because this order comes out Arthur Waite and Aleister Crowley, 2 very important men, come out of this brotherhood. And here we see the Empress speaking to you. Now, the Empress, the number 3, the triangle. Here, the triangle. And again, here, the triangle as well, right? Always, this is the success. I have duality, and out of duality I can create unity. I can create the middle. I have duality, and out of duality I can create here the center. I have the 3 and the 1 is on top. So it's very strong, right? You have like 3, 3, 3. You have again the understanding that even in the card number 6, in the card number 5, and in the card number 3 is always telling you, come into your center, come into that union that yoga is telling us. And so, of course, for me to see that the success is by me holding the third eye, by me training the third eye, because these cards don't tell you how to do it. These are cards, beautiful, but how am I going to do what they tell me to do here? I'm not going to do this, but I can understand this if I understand inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So understand that there are different schools, different perspectives. Some start with the zero, the fool. I start with the fool. And some start with the magician as the one. So again, the different schools tell us that, the alphabetical order is different. This school starts with 1. This school starts with 0. What a dilemma. Now comes Arthur Waite. Arthur Waite is coming out of this order and creates his own deck, published 1920. And his cards were revolutionary because he added people in the minor arcanas. And of course, that's what made them all of a sudden more accessible. People were reading them much more easier than just having them arranged in a pattern, and people were like, I don't know what to do with this pattern if you're not initiated. So he helped people who were not initiated to understand the minor arcanas much, much more. And so here you have 3 cups spilled. This is Mars in Scorpio. And the 3 cups spilled are connected to the 3 elements. The 3 elements, or the triangle that is here, and the triangle that is also here through the temperance. So you have a Capricorn and you have a Sagittarius. And here you're looking down and you're quite sad and don't realize that there's 2 more cups standing behind. And now comes Aleister Crowley with the 2 of Cups. Look at this. What a story. 3 cups, 1 energy, 2 cups. 2 cups coming. Let go of what's happening here. Let go of this story. There is a story of attachment. There's an attachment happening. The 2 people are attached to the physical. The 2 people can only liberate themselves if they use the 3rd eye, and of course hair and horns. That is the connection to the 3rd eye. They can only liberate themselves if they understand the inhale and the exhale, and out of that they become then one, the next generation, this beautiful empress that is sitting here on her throne. And the beautiful thing is she's the daughter of the mighty ones. The 3 is a feminine energy. The 3 is giving birth, right, out of 2. The 3rd is coming out. So something was not going so well here because of an attachment, because of an energy that was not in balance. But you are called to let go of what happened there because something new wants to come to you. Now, Aleister Crowley's cards were printed 22 years after his death. Again, the 22, the number 22, 22 major arcanas. He painted only the 22 major arcanas. They, or the people that followed him, published his deck 22 years later. 1969 comes the 2 of Cups, a divine love, a spiritual love, Venus in Cancer. Something extraordinary wants to come to you because then comes you out of Salvador Dali, 1970. And Salvador Dali is looking, or this face is looking into the 2 of Cups. And here comes Caballero de Copas. And Caballero de Copas is Napoleon on his horse. And this one woman that captured his love. He did everything for her. And he, of course, became a little bit too much. And then, of course, he lost the war. But here you are, driven by a love, driven by this spiritual love that is behind you. You are looking at these 3 and you are realizing, okay, now something new is wanting to come. And you feel that, you see that, you look at that. It's not that it's this way, then you wouldn't know that it's coming. So let go of of what happened there and trust that something new is coming. And trust now the Golden Dawn Tarot, which is then coming out of this order. So the people were relying on these cards, and then they created their own tarot, and that's the one that is published 1978. And so here we see the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is Mars in Gemini. And Gemini is way too much thinking, way too much worrying, way too much, way too much. So focus on that one thought. Always focus on that one cup. Always focus on that which brings you into the one energy that never goes, that never leaves, that never comes and goes, that is eternally there. You have 5 hands, 5 people, 5 cups. So you have here a kind of 5-5 moment. Not really, but nevertheless, you have a 5-5 portal with Temperance. The mixing, the giving and taking, right, is still standing. The other 3 are lying and fallen over. 2 are still there. 2 can always be saved, right? 2 is something that's fixed here on this planet. 2, the dualities, the polarities. This is part of this dimension, and this is what this card is saying. The only way to get out of it is through the third eye, like I said. So you have the 5 cups and you have 5 hands, but you have 9 swords. Now comes Hermann Handel, 1985, a very interesting story. His story is that he was in the World War II, like a young soldier, didn't know what he was doing, and then got imprisoned, and a Jewish Russian soldier saved his life. That story marked him, and of course he then later on, when he was establishing himself in Germany as an artist, he then painted the tarot. And here comes you again. Parzival, the one that's looking for the Holy Grail, the one that is actually getting enlightened, right? So here you have Napoleon, and now you have Parzival. He is a knight who's working for King Arthur, and King Arthur is saying, hey, stay with this one thought, don't get sidetracked, don't. But also, as you can see, these are all pointing upwards, right? So understand that your mind can be shifted by the way you feel. If you make yourself feel loved, if you create that love energy, then you can focus on that one source that is bringing you up into a higher consciousness. So that you, both the Knight of Cups is framing the 9 of Wands, which is a completion. Right? So here you are. Look at you. You came up twice. You came up in Salvador Dali's and Hermann Handel's tarot. Then comes exactly what I said. Focus on that one sword. Focus on that one thought. Focus clearly on the Ace of Swords, the mental willingness to act and to think and to act clearly and to bring that energy forward is now asked of you. You are here understanding I need to focus so strong that I have this one love that is bringing me forward. So that is bringing me away from certain attachments. That's bringing me away from this. And so you are also realizing that's bringing you away from this, right? From a sadness that is lingering around you. And for you to be able to see this, you need to focus, you know? You need to come into the third eye. You need to say, this is where I want to go. So now comes the Oracle E square 2, energy square 2. And these are in German. So, but I put a sticker on it. And the words are generous, noble, and good. And this is what you are. Number 27, a completion. A completion to this kind of thinking. Remember that you're generous, that you're noble, and that you're good. And that is gonna liberate you out of this. Go forward in your path, the 27, the 2, which is, of course, this divine love that is speaking to you through Cancer. And of course, the 7, which is the Chariot, is helping you to say, I am generous, noble, and good, and my path is going forward. That's what I'm doing. That's where I'm going. And then comes the butterfly garden, the number 48, which is becoming a 12, and the 12 becomes again the Empress, which is then the 12 zodiac signs, which is giving you help to overcome anything, transformation, seeing above your head, all possibilities, seeing above your head the 12 zodiac signs, and knowing that you can achieve whatever it is you can achieve, right? Because you are in your own garden of transformation. You transform yourself if you know that you're generous, noble, and good. That's inherent in you. And then comes the 4 of Earth, which is the Sun in Capricorn. There is also a connection then to this, because the Sun in Capricorn, this is the Capricornian energy, right? And so this is the constellation Capricorn when the Sun goes into that month. And here comes the 4 of Earth. A transformation. If you understand this, you can transform anything and you can come into this stability. The 4 is always about knowing that the 4th dimension, or like the first chakra, right, is the square. The square is the 4 elements here on this dimension. And you have now a material awareness about it, but you're transforming yourself. So it's almost like you know this butterfly and this flower, and now you're liberating it because you have come into the Sun in Capricorn. You have come into an awareness, into an understanding that you can create because you're generous, noble, and good. Then comes the kyanite crystal, which is also the number 27. And so there comes a combination of 9-9 portal, but you already had a 9 here. So you have 3 times 9 portal. 1, 2, 3. And you have to see that if you ground yourself, if you earth yourself, if you ground yourself in these 3 words, generous, noble, good. 3 words, the Empress, generous, noble, and good. Right? 3, the next level. Then you can get into the 4, then you can get stable, and then you can get to the kyanite. Now, the words here are solving conflict, diplomatic, and recreating harmony, and building bridges over differences. So here you know that you have a difficult situation, Mars in Gemini, and you also have here Mars in Scorpio. So there is something connected here with these two because of the number 5 through the 5 hands. So you have to build bridges to get over, and there is a bridge. You see this bridge back there? This bridge, if you know that you can build bridges, you can come to the 2, back to the 2. Realize that it was just a test, that everything is a test. And now you're learning to be diplomatic, be grounded and be diplomatic, and let nothing push you, right? Let nothing change you, because the only way to get through it is through the blade. The blade is here with the number 6, 15, the 6. Know that you can get up here by cutting through all the things that don't make sense, all the things here. This one sword is in your hand. Cut through. Don't allow anything to disrupt what you know is true, what your heart knows is true, and find through the blade the higher consciousness. And you see the moon's changes, the higher consciousness, the number 6. Nevertheless, you sometimes feel afraid. The rabbit is coming. And the rabbit is one of those animals that is speaking constantly about the negative and is not realizing it's attracting the negative. And here you are. I have been seeing this card quite a lot lately, so I have a feeling that a lot of people are frozen, because this is kind of the words for this card is frozen. It's like afraid, and it's an earth animal. And it says afraid of everything, overwhelmed and frozen. But when in balance, it's sensitive, problem solver, and a good listener. So just listen. A problem solver, exactly. You solving the problems, you bridging, and you find that white bridge. Look at this, how beautiful that bridge is. You find that white bridge, and you can, when you turn around, take these 2 cups, go over this bridge and go back home. And leave that here. You leave that. Let it go, right? So then comes the number 20. Now this is the position of the devil. You can, I'm not using every card with the position, but here comes the devil because the devil is here. So the only way to liberate is again through the third eye. The soul wants to be free. The soul says, liberate me, is bringing the 2 arms together, is creating a freedom within through the inner knowledge that is coming to you with the 20. And this inner knowledge is combining the dualities, bringing the male and the female together. Then we are finally free. Then we have found the true love, a true love that is always here, which then brings you into the actualization. This beautiful 2 swans, again, the heart shape, the circle here, the liberation. She's in the middle dancing. You will achieve your full potential by virtue of your creativity and your honest pursuit of truth. The number 64. Beautiful card. I love this one dearly because just of the way it's arranged of these deck. This is an oracle, creativity oracle card, and you are able to liberate yourself and bring yourself into these came together into the Empress again. So if you let go, you can be a new Empress, but much more colorful, much more vibrant, and even pregnant with the next idea or with a child through the moon. So you have the moon and the Empress coming together. And it's usually I take one card, and what's happened here is when I split the stack, I grabbed it and two stayed on the table. And I knew right away these two want to be in the reading. So I turned it over and I was like, of course. Right, so here you are again, 3-3. Now you have a 3-3 portal. If you let go that old thinking of you as the Empress, you can become a new Empress, and it's gonna happen always when you accept your destiny, your age, your mission that you born into, right? The moon is your major arcana, is your soul calling, and the moon is liberating you. The moon is giving you a freedom to create new things, right? Because that's the one that is looking deeper within. And then comes the 4 connected here to this 4 at your position, right? So this is the star position. And in the star position, you have the wishful thinking of being the Empress again, and knowing that the moon cycles will tell you when that moment will happen. And then here, the 4 at your position, which is the shaman's dream oracle. Why I'm using it at your position, I had it at the end, but I'm using it at your position is because you govern our dreams, right? And so here comes a 4 that says caterpillar, opportunities. A lot of opportunities are coming to you, a 4-4 portal, and knowing that these opportunities are giving you now an awareness that you can create new things, and particularly attract new things if you know this, if you understand this, which is a 10-10 portal, the 10 here of the 64, and of course now here the number 37. You will attract new things, you will bring new things to you, new opportunities will come to you, trust that, and then you can create in the next month the King of Wands, which is a Leo. You can create with your wand, Mars in Capricorn, new things. You understand that by working with other people, you can liberate yourself out from the devil, because you can see the triangle pointing up, and you can see the triangle pointing up into the third eye, is that you have to help others, then you can help yourself, and you will do that in the next month. So that's the reading, right? You realize by coming together with other people in the next month that you're working together, that you're building something, and it can be really magnificent. It can be really extraordinary, because you cannot do this alone. Certain people have to come together, like in these brotherhoods, right? They came together because they realized, well, there are other people who think like me, and then all of a sudden they realized, well, they do think a little bit more different than me, so maybe I do my own. Nevertheless, right, the 3 is again here, the 3 portal. 3 portal, the power to be powerful within your own power, right? So that's really what I just see here. And yeah, you're gonna build in the next month something incredible. So I hope I see you in the next reading, because Leo is here, right? The Earth is turning, and we see behind the sun the constellation Leo. The creating something bigger than you, having the wand, having the creativity to make it happen is coming to you in the next reading. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.